Hi guys, and welcome to another one of our short videos here at PMA, Plan Manage Assist. I've got my good friend and colleague John Collins with me. How are you, mate?
Good, and how are you?
I'm good. Team, we are here in North Sydney, and one of the topics that has been a hot topic lately here in Sydney has been the use of therapy funding. So there's been a number of queries around whether therapy, which is normally funded out of capacity building, can in fact be funded out of core once capacity building has been exhausted. So there seems to be a little bit of a grey area here amongst many participants and support coordinators. I wanted to defer to John Collins and see if he can tidy it up for us at all. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, so yes, it is still available. That's basically the answer to the question. It is a temporary measure the NDIS put in place for a COVID measure, but they're not looking at getting or removing it anytime soon that I know of. That obviously might happen at some time, but yes, all the services have the equivalent, including art therapy, music therapy, occupational therapy, psychology, both in category 15, your capacity building, and category 1 core. There's also a bunch of other items that you can still fund out of other areas. Low cost AT is another one that there's a lot of inaccurate information floating around. So for instance, you can still get low cost AT out of category 15 if you don't actually have that. And the purchase of a communication device like an iPad or a laptop is still available under those same definition of the temporary measures of COVID. So yes, It's still available.
So why is it you think that there's confusion in the market? Support coordinators aren't getting information accurately on this topic? Any reason as to why that's not being conveyed through?
Look, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think there's probably a lack of knowledge. There's people that aren't probably doing plan management as their core business and they're doing it as a secondary type of role. It is difficult. There's a lot to get through now as a plan manager to understand. But we like to, tread the path for people first, including our support coordinator community, all our participants and parents and carers, etc., and try and make it easy for them to navigate the NDIS.
One of the things I'd heard was that plan managers are subject to more audits more often than ever before. Do you think that's an impacting factor or not?
Look, absolutely. We basically have what they call a micro audit every other month, where the NDIA is targeting, the compliance team is targeting certain things. So not only do we have to get reassessed every year or two for our registration and then reassessed every 2 to 3 years at a complete registration, they're looking at different scenarios where the people have been double invoiced, double shifts, all sorts of scenarios that they're picking out. Whether there's any fraudulent activity. We're lucky we've got a great system that picks most of that up, and we've got a great team that we spend about 6 months training when they start that pick those things up. So on top of the reporting and all the other stuff that's just a given now for plan management, really we go the extra mile and do that. The other thing you can do is also protect yourself. Have service agreements in place where the provider's funding is protected. You're protected as a participant or a carer. You're going to receive those services for the duration of the plan. If you don't have that, there's no guarantees, because if you run out early, you're basically out of funding and you can't keep funding those supports. Making sure the invoices are correct. All that due diligence around invoicing is really important. Has it got an ABN? Is it actually a valid ABN? Because we've had a number of providers that have fraudulently tried to claim funds from people that haven't been correct. They just don't exist. And if you're not reviewing every invoice, which again our system can do that if you want to do that and approve them, you don't pick it up. And that's what we do as part of just our setup and managing from the day-to-day of participants' plan.
Okay. So team, there you have it. It seems that you need to have an expert in plan management to cut through some of these grey areas and give you some black and white answers. And the question you have to ask yourself is your plan manager an expert? We certainly are here at PMA, Plan Manage Assist. We do have capacity and you can get access to these sort of resources and knowledge base. That's it from North Sydney. Thanks very much, team. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.